I'll be talking about apprenticeships at BT today. So let me introduce myself first before we get started. My name is Umayr Tanveer. I'm currently a software engineering degree apprentice at BT in my third year. So, BT apprenticeships, what are they and what do we offer them in? Now I want to ask one question which I want you all to reflect on before we get into it. So why would you choose BT for your career journey? Why BT? So, we don't just do the ordinary, we do so much more than that. And as you can see, we have so many companies in our portfolio that we work with. So we've got BT, EE and PlusNet, all of whom offer various services across the UK. We've also got Openreach, who are wholly operated and owned as their own subsidiary. Now they own and build the network that provides broadband for most and if not all of the UK. So most likely the broadband that you have at home is actually owned and run by Openreach. We are actually more than just a broadband company. So there is this misconception that we just do broadband and Wi-Fi and that's it. But actually, we do so much more than that. We actually offer the NHS services. So whenever you're calling the emergency services, the 999, you're actually being put in touch with the operators that work for BT, and they put you in touch with the emergency services. Air traffic control, all of the networks for that goes through the BT estate. Contactless payment, for example, that you use in your Tesco's or your Sainsbury's. Booking Uber. None of these things would be able to happen without BT. And it's not just in the UK that we operate in. We actually operate globally across 180 countries to create, collaborate, and communicate better than ever. Now, over the last 10 years, we're actually the largest technology sector in the research and development stage. We have over 100 inventions per year, and we have many patents as well that we own. Sustainability is actually a huge part, and it's really, really important for BT as well. We are actually aiming to be net zero by 2030, and we are using our technology to pave the way for less carbon emissions. Now, on to the next question. Why should all of you in the audience do an apprenticeship? Now this actually changed yesterday, and I'm pleased to announce and say that we are actually the third best provider of apprenticeships. So we've gained one place since last year. And in fact, we are still the #1 in the private sector for apprenticeships. Now you've probably heard it as you're going around the stalls today, but we're going to say it again here. The chance for you to earn and learn is actually a no-brainer. On top of that, you get access to many, many great benefits at BT if you join with us. We have and we get discounted broadband, 50% off EE Mobile or BT Mobile, free BT Sport, and you get free tickets to various events such as a football match in the Wembley Stadium, which I was actually fortunate to go to, free of charge. And you get free tickets to actually go to the BT Sports Studios in Stratford, where we film all of our Champions League coverage and various other sports as well. Now on top of that, everyone at BT gets 3 days a year where they can go out and volunteer for a cause that they're passionate about. To add to that, it's actually a real career. Some of the apprentices at BT started 20 or 30 years ago. And now they are still working at BT as directors. And in fact, let me tell you one fun fact. The CEO of Openreach was actually an apprentice that joined many, many years ago. So the career progression that you can get whilst joining BT is really up there, and the sky's the limit. Now let's do some apprenticeship myth busting. So we all know that there are so many myths around apprenticeships. And let's go through some of them. Let's look over there. I'll only earn the minimum wage. That's actually not true. BT pays above the minimum wage. And many of our salaries are actually on display on our website, which you can have a look at later on. It's just for boys. That's not true as well. We have a very diverse workplace within BT, and we are doing more to promote females within the business. We have initiatives like Women for Tech, which is actually promoting women into senior roles in technology. So it's not just for boys, it's for everyone. They're only for manual jobs. Now that's not true, because I don't work a manual job. I'm a software engineer, so I'm working in the office behind a laptop. We do manual jobs, so we do apprenticeships in power engineering, electronics engineering, or out on the field. But we also do the corporate jobs as well, like our finance apprenticeships or our chartered management apprenticeships as well. I won't get any good qualifications. Again, that's a myth, because you're actually going to be getting qualifications with any apprenticeship that you do here at BT. Whether that's a degree apprenticeship where you'll be getting a degree, or whether that's a level 3 apprenticeship where you'll be getting an MVQ or any other qualification that is equivalent to that. It's for people who couldn't get into university. Now that is very, very incorrect, because actually now many people who have university offers on the table actually reject university for apprenticeships because of the career prospects that are on offer. So that's not true as well. I need to know someone who works at BT already. That's not true. I knew absolutely no one at BT when I first joined. But what I did was I actually networked with people that were already at BT whilst I was applying for BT, and I had a chat with them to understand better how the company was. But you don't need to know anyone at BT to apply, right? Okay? It does not lead to a full-time job. That's actually not true. Because at BT, if you complete your apprenticeship to a good standard and you pass your qualifications, then you will be guaranteed a job. Okay? So that's not true again. I'll only be making tea and coffee. Again, that's totally not true. I have actually never made a single cup of tea or coffee for any of my managers, and I will never. Alright? Okay, so that's not true. Right, okay. So here are some of our apprentices, and for the eagle-eyed, whoops, you can see that's me down there. Right? I didn't choose to put my picture there, by the way. Alright? So here we have Alicia, who is an apprentice that actually, here we go, she's an electronics engineer, yeah? So she's out on the fields, working with our electronics equipment in our exchanges, right? Okay? Over here, as you can see, we have Catherine, who she works at the BT Tower, and she's doing a digital and technology solutions degree, right? Okay? Now, as you can see here, she had a degree in English and drama, but she decided that she didn't want to go down that route. So she decided to do an apprenticeship in technology instead. All right? And here's me in the middle. So I'm a software engineer, as I've mentioned, and I've been working on programming languages such as Java, Python, and various other technologies and projects that I've been involved in over my time here at BT. Right, so what programs do we have on offer, and what is the application process? So, these are all of the jobs and more, some of which are not listed here, that we offer. So we do customer service apprenticeships, power engineering, field engineering, digital support, data analyst, project management, cybersecurity, software engineering, network engineering, and sales. And it doesn't stop there. If you go on our website, you'll be able to see much more. And it isn't just restricted to London. We have offices in Belfast, Birmingham, Bristol, Cardiff, Glasgow, Ipswich, Manchester, and other places as well. So you can apply all over the country for our apprenticeships. Okay? Now, what else do you need to know? So, our salary ranges start from 16,000, just over 16,000 yearly. However, if you're based in London, then you'll get a London weighting, which will raise that to around 19,500. Okay? And also, not to forget, every year, as long as you're passing your qualifications, you will get a raise every single year. Now once you're in, and this is going back to the point that I mentioned previously, all our apprenticeships are actually permanent jobs. So long as you complete your apprenticeship successfully, you will roll off into a job, no questions asked. Okay? One thing also to note is, we close our applications as soon as we have enough applicants to fill our assessment centers. So it is always recommended that when the applications open, you apply as soon as you can. Now, what is the application process like? Okay, so the first point of call is filling in an application form online. Okay, so this is where you fill in your basic details, your name, your address, nothing too difficult. I'm sure all of you guys know your names and addresses. Okay, yeah? You'll also include your qualifications and whether you have the right to work in the UK as well. Now, another important thing to mention is you do not need to upload a CV or a cover letter. If you do have one at hand and you want to include that, you can do that, no problem. But it's not a requirement. Okay? Now, the next stage is an online test. This is only for our level 2 and level 3 apprenticeships. So if you've applied for those, you'll be asked to complete some online tests. Okay? So these online tests will actually look at your working style and preferences, yeah, and assess if you're a good fit for BT. Okay? The next process after the online testing is the video interview. Now, of course, if you're applying for a level 4 or level 5 or a level 6 apprenticeship, you won't be doing this one. You jump straight from the application to the video interview. All right? This is a video interview where you will have to record yourself answering certain questions. All right? So you'll have a few minutes to answer those questions, and you will also have a chance to practice those questions. And if you need any reasonable adjustments for any accessibility issues, then we can offer a telephone interview instead, and it is recommended that you reach out to the recruitment team for that. All right? And finally, the last stage. This is what we call the assessment center. All right? So the assessment center is the last stage of the recruitment process. This is where you will take part in a live assessment with other candidates. Okay? So you'll go through a series of 3 to 4 tasks, such as your interview, group exercise, and also an individual presentation as well. Okay? You will actually be given time to prepare for that on the day. You'll get to meet so many other people, candidates that are applying for the same role as you, and even current apprentices, for instance, okay, who are part of the business and are excited to share their experiences with you. Okay? Now, tips. How should you approach the application process that we have? Number 1, be yourself. Don't try to act like anyone else. Just be yourself, okay? I know it sounds cheesy, but it's actually true. Just be yourself, yeah? It sounds really simple, but when you're actually going to an assessment center or you're doing an interview, the nerves can sometimes overtake your emotions. And that means that you try and be something or someone that you actually aren't, yeah? BT wants to actually see who the real you are, okay? So not a version that is different to what you are, but someone who is actually you, right? The recruiters at BT see thousands of people every year, so they know exactly when you're not being yourself and when you are being yourself. So just take it easy and try and be yourself, okay? The recruitment process is a two-way street. So it's not just about BT understanding whether you're a fit for the company. It's also about you assessing and understanding whether BT is right for you. So always use the application process to ask questions and see if you fit the company as well. All right? Second tip rather, is do your research. Very, very important, and I can't emphasize on this enough. Okay? You'll be actually surprised to see how many applicants and candidates don't do their research. It's very important that you do your research, and the reason why I say that is it will help you in your application. Find out what the BT group is, find out what we do, find out the things that we are involved in, and talk about these things. This will show that you're passionate about the business, you're passionate about joining the business, and you understand what the company is about. This will really bode well with all of the recruiters that come across this. All right? it's also important to understand the role that you're applying for, okay? Yeah, so if you have any questions in the interview, you can actually ask them to the recruiter or your interviewer, or you can also contact our social media team as well. Yeah. Now the third tip and the final tip, practice. Practice is really, really important. And for me personally, that was one thing that I lacked when I first started applying for apprenticeships. Yeah. Without practice, you'll feel really nervous going into an interview or even the video interview. So what I recommend is, for the video interview, try and get someone to do a mock interview for you. Whether that's a teacher, a parent, or a friend. Get them to sit in front of you and rehearse some questions, just so that you get that practice in and you are more confident in your technique. All right? Another thing you can also do if you don't have someone at hand is actually use a mirror. So you look in the mirror and you actually practice answering a given question. That will really, really help you out. Okay? And yes, these are very important tips. And if you take these tips into consideration, you will really, really help your application out. And it will give you a chance to stand above all of the other applicants in the process. And with that, we've reached the final slide of today. So it's over to you guys for a question and answers. So, who has any questions for what we've covered so far today? Anyone?
What exactly is a level 6 qualification? What exactly is a level 6 qualification?
Good question. Right, so, the gentleman here asks, what exactly is a level 6 qualification? So all that level 6 means is that it is equivalent to a degree. So if you're applying for a level 6 apprenticeship, that means the degree is included within the apprenticeship. So you'll be doing the apprenticeship, working for BT in this case, and also attending university to do your degree as well. So that's all level 6 is. Okay? Any other questions? No?
What uni is it that you go to in a level 6?
Very good question again. What uni? I can't answer and say a specific university because it depends on the role and it depends in the location that you're based in. So for example, as a software engineer in London, I attend Ravensbourne University, London, but that differs for software engineers in Ipswich or Manchester or Birmingham. So you'll have to ask that question when you go through the application stage, and you obviously select your location and role as well. All right?
So basically, in my case, I'm 30 years old, and I haven't really got any qualifications, basically. I have qualifications, but I haven't really got any qualifications, basically, from the school time. I had a difficult life, but basically, how could that affect me or anybody else in that kind of, in applying?
So that's a really good question again. Gentleman asks about not having qualifications. So we actually offer level 2 apprenticeships, which means that you need the very basic qualifications in English and maths. So you don't need GCSEs for that. So for those that don't have qualifications like GCSEs or A-levels, they can opt for a level 2 apprenticeship as well. Okay? Yeah. Do we have any other questions from the audience?
Do you offer work experience?
That's a very good question again. We do offer work experience. Well, one of our divisions offer work experience. So our BT Tower team offer work experience. If you talk to me after, I can provide you with their email. All right? Yeah? Any other questions? No? Cool. So that's a wrap then. I hope you guys enjoyed the slide deck and learned more about BT, and really look forward to seeing your applications, and all the best with your applications. Thank you.